All right, let's go ahead and get started. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين اللهم اجعلنا منهم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا متقبلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Frozen Who, can you read for us chapter 51?
Yes, of course. Assalamu Sheikh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Um, uh, so chapter 51, An-Nat Sababi,
Yeah.
Sababi,
النعت السببي.
Sababiyu, An-Natu Sababiyu, As-Sababiyu. Introduction. Recall that sifa can appear either in the form of a single word, a fragment, or a sentence. With every type of sifa, we have learned thus far that Mawsuf always comes before the sifa. In this chapter, we will learn An-Na'tu As-Sababiyu, a structure that breaks this pattern. Nat is an alternate word for sifa. Grammatical structure of An-Nat As-Sababiyu, An-Na'tu As-Sababiyu. Compare the two following example. Hada rajulun ittasakhat malabisuhu. This is a man whose clothing became dirty. Hada rajulun muttasikhatu malabisuhu. This is a dirty clothed man. The two examples translate similarly in English, but their grammatical structures differ. In the first of the two examples, the word rajul has a standard na'tu hakiki, in which jumlatun fi'liyatun is describing it. Second example is similar to the first. There is, however, one key difference. Recall from our surf studies that some asma can act like a fi'l in that they can take a maf'ul bihi or a file. In this case, ismu file. In this case, the ismu file
متسخة
muttasikha replaces and function like the fi'l at-tasikha. At-tasaki.
اتسخت.
Ittasakha. The word following it, malabisuhu, is still its file. In the second example, the phrase rajulun muttasikhatun malabisuhu is a structure called an-na'tu as-sababiyu. Let us take a look at several examples of Na'tu Sababiyu, then let us record our observations regarding the grammatical rules of this structure. Mararna bil qaryati dalimi ahluha. We pass by the village whose people are oppressive. Wa'aytul qaryata ad-dalimu ahluha. I saw the village whose people are oppressive. Hadihi hiya al-qaryatu الظالم أهلها. This is a village whose people are oppressive. It's like talking about Israel. مررنا بقرية ظالم أهلها. We passed by a village whose people are oppressive. رأيت قرية ظالما أهلها. I saw a village whose people are oppressive. هذه قرية ظالم أهلها. This is a village whose people are oppressive.
So before we continue, right, what do we see out of all of this, except for, like we said, the the feeling of this is being the apartheid regime. But grammatically, right, what do we see the same in each of these 6 sentences?
The grammatical structure of the grammatical state of ahlu is the same in the entire sentence.
Yeah, so essentially what we see is in this one, right, if we were to make a chart, this is rafa, this is nasab, this is jar, and this is marfu', and this is nakira, right? This is our chart, right? So first, top right is marfu', and it is ma'rifa, right? And then the middle one is ma'rifa and nasab. Right, so in all of these cases, al-qaryatu al-zalimu, al-qaryatu al-zalima, al-qaryati al-zalimi, right? But ahluha is the same in each one of the scenarios, whether it's ma'rifa or nakira, whether it's marfu', mansub or majroor. Why? Because its role in every scenario is what? It is the fa'il of al-qaryati al-zalimi or al-qaryatu al-zalimu. Does that make sense? Or rather, this is an-na'tu sababi. This is an-na'tu sababi. Right? Just like we saw here, muttasikhatun malabisuha. So zalim is again an ism fa'il, just like muttasikha. And so ahluha is the fa'il of who's the one doing that zalim. Okay, continue.
Notice how the status of ahluha remains constant in all examples. The aid on ahluha goes back to al-qarya. The status of dalim follows the status of qarya. The type of dalim follows the type of qarya. The dalim does not match the gender of qarya. A dalim is singular despite its file ahluha being plural.
All right, so now let's see the logic and the rules behind this.
Okay, the logic behind the rules, think of the parts of an-na'tu as-sababiyu as follows. The file is ahluha, al-zalimi is the pseudo fi'l, and al-qarya masuf, pseudo masuf, the town whose people are oppressed. The grammar rules for an-na'tu as-sababiyu are as follows.
Yeah, this is not a correct translation. What should the translation be? This should be the town whose people are oppressors. It's not al-qaryati al-mazlumi ahluha. Okay, continue.
The grammar rules The grammar rules for النعت والسببية are as follows. Pseudo-fail rules follows all the same rules as a normal fail and file. The fail must be singular here or hua or here form. The file matches the fail in gender. The file must come after the fail. The file must be in rafa status. Pseudo-mawsuf rules, the pseudo-mawsuf will indicate, it will dictate the status and type of pseudo-fail.
Right, so all we're saying here is that these two make sense, right? That the status and type of the fi'l will match the mawsuf. We're trying to describe the qarya, right? And so it will be ma'rifah or nakira just like it, and it will be marfu' mansub majroor just like it. But it will be either huwa or hiya. It will be either huwa or hiya depending on the fa'il. Depending on the fa'il, not depending on the mawsuf. And then the fa'il will match the fi'il in terms of gender. And the fa'il must come after the fi'il. And yeah, we'll see. It would be good if they had some more examples here. But I guess let's do this one and then we'll see the examples. All right, so now rhetorical implications of an-na'tu as-sababiyyu. The rhetorical implications of an-na'tu as-sababiyyu. So as we mentioned before, the na'tun sababiyyun structure is very similar to the complex sifas that we saw. If I have a sifa that's nakira, I can then use a jumla ismiya or a jumla fi'liya or so to describe it as a sifa. So what distinguishes, how do I tell which one is which? And when do I use one or the other? Right, so but when it comes to an-na'tu sababi, right, there are two descriptive relationships that are happening at the same time. Right? So رجل متسخة ملابسه. Right? The whole sentence now, or the whole, yeah, because it's fi'il and fa'il, that becomes my sifa or my na'at as-sababi. Here, muttasikha is describing malabisuhu, which is the word that comes after. It does not describe the word that comes before it. So it's not that the rajul is muttasikhun, it's the clothes that are muttasikhatun. Right, that, or this is kind of where it breaks the normal mawsuf sifa na'at wa nu'ud structure. And then as well, the construction muttasikhatun malabisu as a whole is describing the man, the whole jumla. These are the two description relationships, right? That this is describing this, just like these arrows show. Muttasikha is describing malabis, and then that whole thing is then describing rajul right back.
I have a question.
Yeah.
But the way they translate it, I'm not sure that isn't that a man whose clothes are dirty? Isn't it like that?
Yes.
Because if they say a dirty clothed man, it's almost sound like Mausuf Sifa, but that's not Mausuf Sifa. The structure Rajul and Sifat, they definitely don't match in terms of gender. So it cannot be the way they translated it. If I just read this translate, I would think the dirty clothes structure in Arabic is Mausuf Sifa.
Right, so technically, right, if this is na'atu sababi, so ar-rajul is my na'at or my na'ut is my mawsuf. And this is my sifa.
Right.
Yes. If I say rajulun tawilun, how would I translate this? A tall man. Does this match up?
A tall man matches, yeah.
But right, so this is mawsuf, and this is sifa.
Okay.
So I did a sifa mawsuf.
Yeah,
A
so okay, I get it.
sifa.
So they kept the man at the end, which is the mosul.
Yeah,
The translation.
that's why. And they're doing that here as opposed to over here. This is a man whose clothes became dirty. That's because when you use the actual fi'l, then what happens? Basically, now you're adding a direct zaman to the sentence, whose clothes
Okay.
became dirty. But technically, in both of these cases, if you were to translate both of these either way, that would maybe be okay. Or maybe you probably couldn't use this one. It could go this way, because again, this one doesn't have the meaning of time in it. But you could say this one the long way and say this is a man whose clothes are dirty.
Yeah.
Amen. Are dirty. Right? That would be okay. That would be okay. And then our second one, al-qaryati al-zalimi ahluha. Right? Oppressive is zalim, and it's describing ahluha. Al-zalim is describing ahluha. And then al-zalimi ahluha is now describing qarya as a whole. And I think this box that they have is nice. Al-zalim, or the middle word, goes to the last word. And then those two words go to the first word. Okay, Salima, do you do the first one for us?
Can you make it a little bigger? I don't have my book with me. I'm
Oh, okay.
sorry.
Yeah.
Really sorry. Okay. So, ألم ترى أن الله أنزل من السماء ماء فأخرجنا به ثمرات مختلفا ألوانها ومن الجبال جدد بيض وحمر مختلف ألوانها وغرابيب سود. So over here, I think ثمرات مختلفا ألوانها. So this مختلفا ألوانها is the نعت سببي.
Yep. And then?
Oh, is there more? Okay, let's. Oh, okay, yeah. حمر مختلف ألوانها.
Yeah. Right, so now let's translate this.
Did you see that Allah sent from the sky water, and then He brought forth with it fruits? Okay, fruit. Okay, let me. He brought forth with it.
So
different colored fruits.
good, different colored fruits. So essentially what we do is if we have this pattern, we essentially are going to do we do A, B, C. It doesn't always work out, but A, let me do this in red. A, B, C. A dirty, clothed man. Different colored fruits. And then وحمر or ومن الجبال.
Okay. Okay. And from the mountains, Judadun, I don't know what's the meaning of
Yeah,
that.
so these are Allah's describing different kinds of like valleys and cutouts in mountains. Judadun. ومن الجبال جدد بيض وحمر ومن الجبال طرائق, like different roads and pathways, different cutouts. وهي الخطط تكون في الجبال, these are like the lines that are cut out in mountains. كالطريق واحدتها جدة or جدة, like or طرق, like some like different roads again. One of them is a judah, right? يعني بالجدة الخط السوداء تكون في متن الحمار. A judah is also refers to the like a black stripe, like on the skin of a, or on the fur or hair of a mule. And gharabi busud is just like the blackness of like a crow or a raven. And if you look at
Because Aswad and Sud are kind of related, right?
same root letters.
Hmm.
Kind of like this.
But this isn't the haram rainbow. This is the halal one created by Allah naturally. One of the few natural ones.
Yeah, so these are different roads and pathways, and maybe these are a bit more
Colored.
yeah. But if you look at even at this one, see how there's like just running lines going through it.
Right. Even if you go to Grand Canyon, see running line.
Oh, it has but it's more like
I saw Grand Canyon. But
Yeah, even on the 241 toll road, you can see
this one, I think this is Grand Canyon.
let's see, is it? It is Rainbow Mountain, Argentina.
Oh, okay.
You can see those similar colors along the 241 as well.
Yeah, probably. All right, so this one is slightly different because it's Judadun Bidun wa Humrun. So technically here, what is our Mawsuf? Is our Mawsuf here Jibal or Judud? Because it can't be Bidun or Humrun because those are the colors themselves, right? Right, so here جدد مبتدأ مؤخر والجملة معطوفة. بيض صفة للجدد والجدد جمع جدة وهو الطريق في الجبل. وحمر معطوف على بيض مختلف صفة ثانية لجدد. So technically here my highlight wasn't that good, but it's like this. So if we were to label this is A, B, C. Are we all okay with that? So we have multicolored fruits, multicolored mountains. And again, the Gharabi Busud. So if we look at it in a different way, Judud is a Mawsuf. it has sifa 1, 2, 3, or it should be like this, 3, and 4. Does that make sense?
Yes, so this is because Judad is a mawsuf because it matches in the form of mukhtalifun alwanuha, right? Can we make that conclusion or no?
No, remember the fi'l within the, or the fi'l or ism fa'il within our na'at only matches in state and definiteness, right? Because it's or else it would be al-qaryati al-zalimati. They only match in ma'rifa nakira and status.
Ma'arifa nakira and status is what they match in, right? If I understood that correctly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, for example, number 2. I'm still here. I'm just getting a tissue. But you can start reading.
Okay. بسم الله. ولو أن لكل نفس ظلمت ما في الأرض لافتدت به وأسروا الندامة لما رأوا العذاب وقضي بينهم بالقسط وهم لا يظلمون. Alright, so present in the add and then translate. Okay. Let's see. Would you say it's نفس ظلمت ما في الأرض? So ظلمت ما في الأرض being the regular sifa for nafs.
But then that's not a na'tu sababi.
What's aftadat bih? What's the meaning of that?
Iftada yaftadi, basically to give in ransom. Meaning, if we were to translate walau anna li kulli nafsin zalamat ma fil ard. So nafsin zalamat, is that it here? But doesn't seem like na'tu sababi. But anyways, nafsin zalamat, every soul that did dhulm. So walau anna li kulli nafsin. So walau anna ma fil ardi li kulli nafsin zalamat. Did that follow my reordering? So my mubtada is ma fil ard. Khabar is li kulli nafsin zalamat. Everything in the earth belongs to a soul, every soul that has done dhulm. If walau. So now if everything in the earth belonged to, was in the possession of everyone that did dhulm, laftadat bih, that soul, that nafs, would have ransomed it and paid all. Basically, this is like paying a bond, or a bail. You come on the day of judgment, Allah, I have everything in the earth, I will do iftidat with it. Get me out of Jahannam, I will pay you the entire earth. I will pay you ma fil ard. That's laftadat bih. وَأَسَرُّوا النَّدَامَةَ لَمَّا رَأَوُا الْعَذَابَ, and they will hide the nadam, the remorse, the regret, when they see the punishment. وَقُضِيَ بَيْنَهُمْ بِالْقِسْطِ, and they will be judged, they will be judged and dealt with justice. وَهُمْ لَا يُظْلَمُونَ, and they will not be treated unjustly. Yeah, I don't think this has, unless they also include
Yeah, the drill says you just need to find all types of sifa because perhaps it doesn't have one.
Oh, okay. Okay, then yeah, then what do we have? Then we
Um,
just have
So
this, right?
yeah,
Yeah. And this goes back to our just na'at man'ut, where we have a singular ism, sorry, a nakira ism, and so it can then be described by a jumla fi'liya.
yeah.
Okay. Umar Samila, number 3.
أولئك لهم جنات عدن تجري من تحتهم الأنهار يحلون فيها من أساور من ذهب ويلبسون ثيابا خضرا من سندس واستبرق متكئين فيها على الأرائك نعم الثواب وحسنة مرتفقة. So this one here, we're gonna look for the this one, yeah. Okay, so I'm looking at for all forms of the sifa here. So I'm gonna say this is ثيابا خضرا
Mm-hmm.
and then من sorry سندس واستبرق.
What's mawsuf sifa there?
Never mind. No, wait. No, never mind. Yeah, that's never mind. Yeah, it's not most of the stuff because the how job. I like الثواب حسنة نعم الثواب.
And then we'll also probably have Jannat
متعدن. Yeah, جنة. Yeah, I was looking for the other one, the last part of the sentence. Didn't find anything in the last part of the sentence. So yeah, so this is it for the. This is it in the sentence.
Yeah, and then let's see if they bring in the min. You yeah, right. So we also have so in our first one, oh, they're not describing tajri as sifa. So we'll get to that one, right? And then يحلون فيها يحلون مضارع مبني للمجهول والواو نائب فاعل فيها متعلقان بيحلون من حرف جر أساور اسم مجرور ومتعلقان بصفة مفعول به محذوف. Right? This is صفة أو متعلقان بصفة من ذهب متعلقان بصفة محذوف لأساور والجملة حالية. And same thing من سندس متعلقان محذوفة, right? Going back to the خضرا, because we're describing the خضرا or the ثياب من سندس ومن استبرق. So we have ثيابا مفعول به منصوب, خضرا نعت لثياب, من سندس جار ومجرور نعت ثان لثياب, right? And then same thing here. من ذهب جار ومجرور نعت لأساور. Yeah, so we'll do a longer version like this. I could probably just do this. Like that. And then here we'll do. Like that. Right? So for those people, meaning the believers, they will have gardens of eternity, those which underneath those gardens, rivers are flowing under them. They will be adorned with bracelets of gold, or you could say golden bracelets, right? Because this min dhahab is a na'at, is a sifa to asawid. So they will be placed on them in Jannah golden bracelets, and they will be wearing green clothes, but not just green clothes made of different kinds of silk. متكئين فيها على الأرائك. They're going to be sitting and lounging on couches. نعم الثواب. How great of a reward is this? وحسنت مرتفقا. And how wonderful of a place is it to have friends and company. Right? مرتفق, like from Rafiq, and then مرتفق, ارتفق, يرتفقوا. Does that make sense? The grammar and the translation?
What
I
was
have
it?
a question.
again?
What was it?
مرتفقة.
What?
مرتفقة. What was that?
Right, like basically kind of like a place to hang out, basically. Right? مرتفق. Doesn't explain it here. Right? المرتفق في كلام العرب المتكأ. تكية, a place of sitting. ارتفقت إذا اتكأت. Right, basically it's a good place to sit.
Like outdoors, like like cushions on the floor. Right? Kind of like that.
More generic though. Like this is a good place to sit. The ara'ik would be like the cushions and the couches and all that. All this is saying is this is a good seating. Salimanti?
Question I had, the thiyaban is if I consider mawsuf, then khudran min sundusi wa istabraqati. Is this whole thing is sifa?
No, khudran is sifa 1. Min sundus is sifa 2, and then istabraq is just atf to min sundus.
Okay, so that's one question. Another is, isn't Jannatu Adinin can be mawsuf? Because after that, tajri min tahtiha al-anharu.
You're saying is the
That, yeah, I was thinking Jannatu Adinin is mawsuf, and then after that, the description, that is the sifa, how it's describing the Jannah.
seems to be being described as hal. Hal there. الجملة في محل رفع خبر ثان. Because here it's تجري من تحتهم, not من تحتها. So here أولئك لهم جنات عدن وأولئك تجري من تحتهم الأنهار.
Okay.
So in this case, if it
It's
was
not under the Jannah.
yeah, it's under
under them.
Yeah, so let's see. تحتها.
Is it Jannatu? Is it plural?
Yeah, جنات عدن. جنات عدن, yes.
Yeah, that then tajri tahtihim. It can refer to the Jannah,
No, because number
the
one,
plural Jannah.
جنات is feminine. It is تحتهم.
Uh, okay.
See here, when it's تجري من تحتها فعل مرفوع تجري من تحت الأنهار في محل نصب صفة لجنات. When it's من تحتها. When it's من تحتهم, then it's the خبر for أولئك. Good, very good question. That's why I highlighted that first as well.
Cheers. I'll be back in 5-6 minutes. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. For example, number 4.
Sure, Bismillah. قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا ما لونها. قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة صفراء فاقع لونها تسر الناظرين. All right, so
Actually, do the next. This has an interesting discussion, so I'll wait for Suleiman to come back. It's a fun discussion on
sounds
that.
good.
Do number 5.
وإما تؤردن أنهم ابتغاء رحمة من ربك ترجوها فقل لهم قولا ميسورا. Okay. So one sifa I think in a regular form I see is Rahmatim min Rabbik. And Qawlan Maysura is also regular sifa.
Yeah.
Sifa.
Yeah. Here we'll need to see because it's not just it's ibtigha'a rahmatin. So let's see. Yeah, you're correct, right? So من ربك جار مجرور متعلقان بمحذوف صفة لرحمة. And then also ترجوها is حال من رحمة أو صفة ثانية.
Oh.
This can have both. Yeah.
Tarajuha. Yeah.
Yeah. So we would do this as موصوف, and then this would be صفة, and this would be صفة. And then قولا ميسورا. Even now, let's just do the tafsir of this. وإن تعرض يا محمد عن هؤلاء الذين أمرتك أن تؤتيهم حقوقهم إذا وجدت إليها السبيل بوجهك عند مسألتهم إياك ما لا تجد إليه سبيلا حياء منهم ورحمة لهم ابتغاء رحمة من ربك. يعني انتظار رزق تنتظره من عند ربك وترجو تيسير الله إياه لك فلا What is this? تؤيسهم فلا تؤيسهم ولكن قل لهم قولا ميسورا ولكن عدهم وعدا جميلا بأن تقول سيرزق الله فأعطيكم وما أشبه ذلك من القول اللين غير الغليظ. Right? This is in a larger context. That Allah is telling the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and give family and poor people their right. ولا تبذر تبذيرا. Don't go overboard. Don't become يعني تبذير بمعنى like don't do إسراف. Don't do إسراف. ولا تفرق يا محمد ما أعطاك الله من مال في معصيته تفريقا. Don't do إسراف. التفريق في السرف, right? Don't go overboard and don't be overly, don't spend it in a sinful way. إن المبذرين, those that overspend and they spend in haram ways, كانوا إخوان الشياطين. They are the brothers of the devil. وكان الشيطان ذربه كفورا. And shaitan is extremely rejecting of his master. وإما تعرضن عنهم. And if you turn away from them, if you don't give them what I have told you to give them, ابتغاء رحمة من ربك, right? Here, انتظار رزق من ربك. If you don't give poor people, close relatives, any money, why? Because you're waiting for it. Because you don't have any, but you're waiting for it. ترجوها, that you're waiting for. فقل لهم قولا ميسورا. Then instead say something nice, say something soft, say something gentle. All this is trying to say is, O Prophet, if you don't have any money to give, then when you turn away, when you say, sorry, I don't have anything, say that in a soft way. Say that in a kind way. Say that in a way that is not, rude or mean or disrespectful. Right here, the ابتغاء رحمة من ربك ترجوها انتظار رزق. I don't have any money, right? I don't have any cash to give. And so he is waiting for it. But in the meantime, say something nice. Right, another simple way this is said. In sa'aluka, if they ask you, فَلَمْ يَكُنْ عِنْدَكَ مَا تُعْطِيهِمْ, but you don't have anything to give to them. فَأَعْرَضْتَ عَنْهُمْ, and you turn away from them. ابْتِغَاءَ رَحْمَةٍ, hoping, waiting for provision from Allah. فَقُلْ لَهُمْ قَوْلًا مَيْسُورًا, then say something nice to them. Don't say sorry, or in that tone. Say, I don't have anything right now. I will give something to you later. Once I have, I will give. Okay. Allah, number 6.
وكأي من قرية هي أشد قوة من قريتك التي أخرجتك أهلكناهم فلا ناصر لهم. So over here, وكأي من قرية هي أشد قوة من ناصر لهم. وكأي من قرية هي أشد قوة. This is a tricky one.
This is from our previous chapter of Na'at and Sifa, right? قرية هي أشد قوة. قرية is nakira, so it can be described by a jumla ismiya. Right? هي أشد. والجملة صفة لقرية. Right? And then قوة is tamyiz, stronger in terms of strength. Yeah.
So over here, Qariya is the sifa? No, it's the mawsuf.
Qarya is the mawsuf. Hiya ashaddu quwwa. That jumla is the sifa. That jumla is the sifa.
So if the mawsuf is nakira, then sifa can be jumla ismiya
Or
and
fi'liya.
sifa for fi'l. Okay, that's right.
Or fi'liya or shibhul jumla. Right? And how many towns are there? How many towns and villages were there? Hiya ashaddu quwwa. They were stronger and more powerful min qaryatika allati akhrajatk, than the town that kicked you out, meaning Mecca, meaning Quraysh. How, basically to summarize it, how many towns in the past were stronger, more powerful than Quraysh? أهلكناهم. We destroyed them. فلا ناصرهم. There's no one there to help them at all. Meaning, who does Quraysh think they are? Where do they get the audacity and their arrogance? We've destroyed people far more powerful than them, far greater than them. Slimati number 7.
وما لكم لا تقاتلون في سبيل الله والمستضعفين الرجال الذين يقولون ربنا أخرجنا من هذه القرية الظالم أهلها واجعل لنا I think what is kind of given because in our example, al-Qadiyati Walimi Ahliha.
Yeah.
So al-Qadiyati is the not Mausul. And should I do it like a sababu so
No, I think that's fine. So just to translate,
okay.
Yeah, you want to translate? Go ahead.
And wama lakum la, and not for you. Is it not or that?
Basically, wama lakum here is what's wrong with you?
Okay.
Why?
What's wrong with him? La tuqatiluna fi you do not fight in the path of Allah wal mustad'afina min al-rijali, and the weak ones among the people and among the among the men and and the women and the children, those who they say our Rabb, take us out from this town whose people are wrongdoers. وَجَعَلْنَا, and make for us min ladunka, from you, a protector. وَجَعَلْنَا min ladunka nasiran, make for us from you help.
But here, لا تقاتلون في سبيل الله والمستضعفين. What is والمستضعفين grammatically?
Grammatically, it's a state of jar, and it's
if it's majroor, why is it
majroor? This is maf'ul. This is not ism fa'il.
Yes, but okay, but it's majroor. Why is it majroor?
Because fi sabilillahi. So I thought that fi is continuing to affect this.
Right. So yeah. So someone may think, even what I originally thought is, why are you not fighting fi sabilillah? And in my head, I was reading and translating it as وَالْمُسْتَضْعَفُونَ مِنَ الرِّجَالِ. Why? I was reading this as wow haliya. While there are weak men and women and children who are trying to get out of here.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you. But mustad'afina, it could be at this state of nasab. In that case, the tuqatiluna making this nasab.
It won't be mansub for two reasons, because the meaning's not going to make sense, but that's secondary. Tuqatiluna, if it
While
was
mustad'afina, why don't you fight the weak?
no, because then what's the wow doing there? If it was the maf'ul bi, then the wow wouldn't be there.
Okay.
And the mustad'afina min al-rijal, they're saying رَبَّنَا أَخْرِجْنَا. Right, the context here is Allah is telling the Muslims of Medina, why are you not fighting in the path of Allah when there are weak men and women and children in Mecca who are saying, oh Allah, take us out of here. We want to get out. We're trying to get out. But if we get out, we're going to get killed. If we run away, we're going to get killed. So here saying maf'ul bihi also doesn't make sense from the meaning wise. But here, وَالْمُسْتَضْعَفِينَ وَمَا لَكُمْ لَا تُقَاتِلُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَفِي سَبِيلِ الْمُسْتَضْعَفِينَ. Fight for the path of Allah and fight for the sake of these, weak men, women, and children who are trying to get out of Makkah, who are trying to leave persecution. Fight in their path as well.
Yep.
All right, let's take let's take a 10-minute break, and then we'll come back and we'll do number 4, inshallah.
Sure. I had a question from the beginning book. If you want, I can ask.
Yeah. Yeah, which one?
The beginning book.
The beginning book or the first
The beginning book. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the question?
It's on page 83.
Page 83.
Page 83.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at number 37.
Yeah.
So this is Idafa chapter. So fakana abawahu. So the plural of the door is abawabun. So there's
Wait,
when there's
say that again.
So plural of door is abawabun.
Mm-hmm.
Abawabun. So what we know that when it comes to idafa, if there's like a noon sound, it drops, right?
Correct.
So if there's a physical noon, then like for example, Muslimu Makkah, the Muslim of Makkah, so the noon physically dropped. But if there is no physical noon, the noon sound drops, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
over here, why they dropped the ba? Why it's not
read the word.
abawabu?
Read the what is? How do I say? What's the jama' of bab?
Jama of bab is abawabun. Is it abba? Is it bab? Abba has sukun, should have sukun, right?
Yes.
But they give that over.
So is that the word? So are they saying plural of bab?
Oh, okay.
What if you were to follow that logic,
Uh-huh.
I do this. Ab or aba. And then now what is my missing letter if I do the idafa? It would be noon, right?
No, yeah, right, yeah, exactly.
So what word is this?
An is a dual.
Uh-huh. But what's the word? So what is this? Translate this.
Father. No.
Two parents.
Two,
Parents.
two parents.
Yes. This is
Oh,
both kana abawahu, both of his parents were.
so okay, so this is, let's see. So originally it was Abawani.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so true. Oh, okay. And for some reason I have those.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yes. Oh, that's all.
Oh yeah. All right, there's a very fun example, right? قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا ما لونها قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة صفراء فاقع لونها تسر الناظرين. They said, meaning Banu Israel, they said to Musa, ادع لنا ربك, go ask your master. يبين لنا ما لونها, clarify and explain to us what is the color of the cow. Right? The context of this is يبين لنا. وإذ قال موسى لقومه إن الله يأمركم أن تذبحوا بقرة. There was a murder amongst Banu Israel. There was a murder amongst Banu Israel. There was a person from amongst them that was found dead in the morning, and nobody wanted to confess or say or who killed this person. And so the response that Allah gave was, you need to go slaughter a cow. قالوا أأتخذنا هزوا? What does that mean?
Are you taking this as a joke?
Are you taking us as a like? Are you?
Or yeah.
Yeah. Do you think we're dumb? Basically, you think we like? Why do you want us to slaughter a cow? What does that have to do with anything? Musa responds, قال أعوذ بالله أن أكون من الجاهلين. I take refuge and protection in Allah from the ignorant. He said, okay. قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا ما هي. Go, you make dua to your master, clarify what kind of cow. قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة لا فارض ولا بكر عوان بين ذلك فافعلوا ما تؤمرون. The response was, Allah, He said that this cow is a cow لا فارض ولا بكر, not too old, not too young, عوان بين ذلك, right in the middle. فافعلوا ما تؤمرون. Let's just see some of the لا فارض مسنة هرمة, very old, about to die. And then بكر is إناث البهائم وبني آدم لم يحتفله الفحل. Basically, like, the bikr literally means like virgin, meaning no male cow has had mated with this animal yet. عوان بين ذلك النصف التي قد ولدت بطنا بعد بطن, right? Has had a few children, right? So not some cow that's way too old, not some cow that's very young, but something right in the middle. قالوا ادع لنا ربك يبين لنا ما لونها. Okay, that's not enough. We need to know what color the cow has to be, right? قال إنه يقول إنها بقرة صفراء فاقع لونها تسر الناظرين. Right? They say, Allah said that this cow is بقرة صفراء, and we'll get into that. فاقع لونها. Its color is very فاقع, very stand out. تسر الناظرين. The color pleases, or the cow pleases those that look at it. And the reason I wanted to go into this is because there's a lot of fun argument about what safra means. What does safra mean?
Yellow.
Yellow, right? Or you can say for
Yellow, like a color which
like,
is permissible
like
for.
a golden cow. Like
So that's not permissible for Muslim to wear the saffron, right?
No, there's some difference of opinion on that. Right, so some scholars right, so يبين لنا ما لونها. Some people they bring in يبين لنا السوداء هذه البقرة أم صفراء. Should we have a black one or a yellow, a golden one, right? So that is the question being asked here. So some of the scholars of Arabic, they said صفراء. قال بعضهم معنى ذلك سوداء شديدة السواد. By صفراء they mean and understand black. سوداء شديدة السواد, right? معنى ذلك صفراء القرن والظلف. It has gold or yellow horns and hooves, right? وأحسب, and Abu Ja'far al-Tabari says أحسب أن الذي قال في قوله صفراء يعني به سوداء ذهب إلى قوله في نعت الإبل السود. هذه إبل صفر, فهذه ناقة صفراء يعني بها سوداء, right? Imam Tabari says those people that said safra means black, they're not, the black is used like that for camels. When describing a black camel, you say ibl safr or naqa safra to mean a black or a dark camel, right? وإنما قيل ذلك في الإبل لأن سوادها يضرب إلى الصفرة, because the darkness of a camel goes more towards a golden color. And then number 2, he says فليس مما توصف به البقر, meaning cows are not described with صفر or صفراء to mean yellow or to mean black. That's only for camels. And on top of that, مع أن العرب لا تصف السواد بالفقوع, meaning you don't say صفراء or you don't say black with فاقع. You don't say black with فاقع. So all of this is trying to say is there are many times you'll find scholars that say, oh, safra means black. Safra only means black when you're describing a camel. And you don't use the word faqi'. So the whole point of all of that is, because I know sometimes when people read tafsir, they're like, oh, it's a black cow. No, it's a shining bright yellow cow, right? يعني خالص لونها والفقوع في الصفر نظير النسوع في البياض. الصافي لونها, pure yellow, pure gold. نقي لونها, very clean color. شديدة الصفرة تكاد من صفرتها تبيض وقال أبو جعفر أراه أبيض. Right? Tabari is saying some people may even describe it to be such pure yellow, they almost mean pure white. That's just an interesting discussion. So what color is the cow? But so now back to the grammar. So baqaratun safra is one sifa. So let's do it like this. Mawsuf. Or sorry. Baqara is mawsuf. Safra is sifa. Faqi'un lawnuha. This is matching to this. So this whole thing is also sifa number 2. بقرة or بقرة فاقع لونها. A cow whose color, or a pure colored cow, because remember we do A, B, C, pure colored cow.
So is this the structure is Na'atu Sababiyya?
Yeah, so we have
The-
Mawsuf Sifa right here,
Right.
and then we have Na'tu Sababi.
Okay. Very
So we have
interesting.
both. We have both. Right? Did we see that before as well? We see both.
I'm not sure.
Kind of like وَمِنَ الْجِبَالِ جُدَدٌ بِيضٌ وَحُمْرٌ وَغَرَابِيبُ سُودٌ. The mountains are white and red and deep dark black, but multicolored. Right? So the مُخْتَلِفٌ أَلْوَانُهَا is another sifa for Judad.
I'm sorry, when brother was reading the chapter, I missed it. What is the rhetorical implication? Why Na'atu Sababiyya used?
They don't really tell us why, right?
Hmm.
It bears resemblance to the complex sifa structure. In terms of usage and meaning, they don't.
I guess they're saying it's unique because
Mm,
do these things come in Balagha? When we're going to learn Balagha?
maybe. Let me see. Let me see if I can find a better more detailed explanation as to why. Sulaiman, can you read the Quran Jam for us?
Sure. This one? Bismillah. Now that we have an understanding of Na'atu Sababiyya, we can appreciate the following subtlety in how Allah Jalla Jalaluhu labels certain things. In Surah An-Nisa, Allah Jalla Jalaluhu says, وَمَا لَكُمْ لَا تُقَاتِلُونَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَالْمُسْتَضْعَفِينَ مِنَ الرِّجَالِ وَالنِّسَاءِ وَالْوِلْدَانِ الَّذِينَ يَقُولُونَ رَبَّنَا أَخْرِجْنَا مِنْ هَذِهِ الْقَرْيَةِ الظَّالِمِ أَهْلُهَا وَاجْعَلْ لَنَا مِنْ لَدُنْكَ وَلِيًّا وَاجْعَلْ لَنَا مِنْ لَدُنْكَ نَصِيرًا. What has happened to you that you do not fight in the way of Allah, and for the oppressed among men, women, and children who say, Our Master, take us out from this town whose people are oppressive, and make for us a supporter from your own, and make us a helper from your own. In particular, pay attention to أخرجنا من هذه القرية الظالم أهلها. As we recently learned, al-Zalimi is describing the people, Ahluha, not the town. Allah Jalla Jalaluhu could have said, Min hadhihi al-qaryati zalim, Min hadhihi al-qaryati zalima, which would have ascribed the oppression to the town, but by using Na'tu Sababiyu, he moved the description of oppression to the word after it, which in this case its people. Why not ascribe it to the town? Because the town being described here as Makkah. Out of honor and respect for this sacred city, Allah Jalla Jalaluhu did not describe the town with any disrespectful attributes. Instead, He described the disbelievers within it as oppressive and left the city's honor intact.
All right. And so maybe that, because if we were to say, من هذه القرية التي أهلها ظالمون. I feel like, yeah, that just gets very long. Then you can have the التي, or you can say من قرية أهلها ظالمة. I feel like this is just a very succinct way, or ظلمت أهلها. Okay, so I guess one of the perhaps, I guess, yeah, one of the rhetorical benefits is, right, when we use an ism, we are going throughout time. When I use a fi'l, I'm restricted to a certain time, right? What we'll get to in balagha is that with af'al, you are limited in scope and limited in time, whereas with asma and jumla ismiya, you have what's called dawam and istimrar and thubut, continuity. Right? And I think this is an example we've talked about before. Right? Someone says, you know, yeah, like I drove my car yesterday. Okay, so who knows? Maybe they drive their car, you know, sometimes every once in a while, versus someone who says, I'm a driver. I mean, they're a bus driver, they're a chauffeur, they're a race car. I mean, that the verb there, I drove yesterday, or I am driving, is very different than someone who says, my job, my life is that I drive. And so by using either the masdar or the ism fa'il, right, it shows a way more continuity, and that this is a trait and an attribute that is continuous, right? That's why oftentimes at the end, after Allah says what He can do, He will then use His names instead of just saying. Very rarely will Allah be like, Inna Allah, you know, yarhamu wa yaghfir. No, because that means sometimes He does, sometimes He doesn't. There will be a start and a stop. With any fi'l, there's a start and a stop. But when He says, Ghafur Rahim, I'm always forgiving, I'm always one of rahmah. And so there's that benefit of continuity, consistency that you get from using the ism. Does that make sense in terms of the rhetorical benefit?
So you're saying, so you're
Yes.
saying like there's a different way of saying something. Like, let's say, أخرجنا من هذه القرية الظالمة is like, you can say like an oppressive town, or like the town where people are oppressive, or like, let's say the example you gave, like like being a driver, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so whenever we use the ism, right, it shows continuity, consistency, regularness. Whereas when we use the fi'l, right, it's time bound. There was a start and a stop to that.
Just like initially, like at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, like if I understood this part correctly here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did he use the fi'l because at the time being of the Rasulullah when they kicked him out of Makkah, out of Makkah, those people were oppressive at the time being, right?
No, Allah, the point, the whole point of that is that this is not to sababi al-qaryati al-zalimi ahluha. Meaning this is these are oppressive people. It's not that they did dhulm once. They are labeled, their title, their description is that they are zalim.
Okay, so that was for at the time being when it was revealed, right?
Yeah. The last one. So we did that one. What's Samila do number 8? Actually, let's see. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Let's just quickly do the last three and then see if we can start the next chapter.
مثل الجنة التي يوعد المتقون فيها أنهار من ماء غير أسن وأنهار من لبن لم يتغير طعمه وأنهار من خمر لذة للشاربين وأنهار من عسل مصفى ولهم فيها من كل الثمرات مغفرة من ربهم كمن هو خالد في النار. Oh, sorry.
مثل الجنة التي وعد المتقون. Right, we have فيها أنهار من ماء غير آسن ونهار من لبن لم يتغير طعمه وأنهار من خمر لذة للشاربين وأنهار من عسل مصفى. But here are these mins. غير Yes. Oh, min ma is also sifatun li anha. All of these are sifatun li anha. Interesting. Yes, I guess all of these are going to be now sifa. Right, and then غير آسٍ صفة ثانية لأنهار. Why is it not صفة ما? Anyways, ومن ماء نعت وأنهار من لبن لم يتغير طعمه. ولم يتغير طعمه is also a صفة for لبن. Oh, no, sorry, that's my bad. I messed that up. This is أنهار من ماء غير آسٍ. So ma is a sifa too, or mimma is a sifa, and then غير آسٍ is this for anhar. And then أنهار من لبن, min لبن is a sifa, and then لم يتغير طعمه is another sifa. Min خمر is a sifa to أنهار, لذة للشاربين is another sifa. Min عسل مصفى, here موصوف sifa, this pair is now sifa for أنهار. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right, so basically anhar in the first three cases has two sifas. Anharun min ma, so rivers of water that aren't going bad. Wa anharun min labin, rivers of milk. Those rivers, the taste is not going to change.
What is غير آسن?
Like it's not doesn't have a stale taste. I don't know what the right English word for that is, but let's see. Like
Crisp.
the smell doesn't change.
Like it's always crisp and fresh. Like you go to the Pacific Northwest, it's got a unique, like, a scent to it, versus the rivers here are like a gutter.
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, like clean, fresh, pure water. Yeah, right. So we said for غير متغير الريح, the smell doesn't change. لم يتغير طعمه, right? Milk whose taste doesn't change. Right? Milk can get spoiled. And خمر لذة للشاربين. Right, but see, even for this, Right, see, this doesn't make sense because this should be غير asin should be a sifa for ma. Because it's majroor. لم يتغير can maybe go both ways, but again, لذة للشاربين is sifa to khamar. And then, so لذة للشاربين is tasty, delicious to those that drink it. And then عسل مصفى, pure flowing honey. Pure flowing honey. صفية من القذى, clear, free from any impurities. وما يكون في عصر أهل الدنيا قبل التصفية إنما أعلم تعالى ذكره عباده بوصفه ذلك العسل بأنه مصطفى أنه خلق في الأنهار ابتداء سائلا جاريا سيل الماء. Right? But this is that in this world, honey has to be cleaned and purified and extracted to get all the impurities out. In Jannah, the honey is already clean and pure, no impurities, no bee pieces, no wax, right? And it's already just flowing and running like water, right? Meaning, so it's very easy to utilize and all that. And لهم فيها من كل الثمرات, and they have all kinds of other fruits and ومغفرة من ربهم. All right. So we might do the next one, number 9. Actually, let's see what's next. Yeah, I guess just for homework, just review, just look over chapter 52. Just look over chapter 52. How many chapters does this book have? You don't have that much left, right?
I don't have the book with me right now.
Almost done. 2 more chapters after that. And I think we've already done some of chapter 53 anyways. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, so for homework, just look over chapter 52. So you might do number 9.
فتبسم ضاحكا من قولها وقال ربي أوزعني أن أشكر نعمة التي أنعمت علي وعلى والدي وأن أعمل صالحا ترضاه وأدخلني أدخلني برحمتك في عبادك الصالحين. فتبسم. What does it mean?
What does it mean? He smiled. هو تبسم, he smiled. Sima, do you want to unmute?
Oh, sorry. He smiled, ضاحكا, as smiling, from its saying.
Meaning from her, meaning
from her saying.
Yeah, meaning the ant, right? Sulaiman and his army. One of the قالت النملة يا أيها النمل ادخلوا مساكنكم لا يحطمنكم سليمان وجنوده وهم لا يشعرون. One of the ants said, "Hey ants, we can hear and feel Sulaiman's army coming. All of you go inside. If you don't go inside, his army might trample over you." But Sulaiman, he heard that, and so when he heard that, I can hear an ant say, "Ants, go inside. Sulaiman's army might trample over you." He smiled. And he like a smiling of like laughing, when like a big smile. Min qawliha. Because he was able to hear this and then act accordingly. It's a big blessing of Allah. Right? And then he said, Rabbi awzi'ni.
And then he said, Rabbi awzi'ni Auzi'ani, like facilitate me.
Facilitate for me, make it easy for me.
Fac- um, okay, sure, anything here?
Um, اجعلني facilitate for me, yeah. حرض علي, like encourage me, make me. ألهمني وحرضني, like yeah, like you said, encourage me, get me.
Okay, where should I read from? Okay, I can't see now. He said, my Rob, facilitate me that I appreciate your blessing, the one you gave on me and upon my parents, and that I know
No, I know
no,
that.
that I do good deeds, the Wahu, um
أنت ترضاه, that you.
that you are pleased with,
Mhm.
pleased with it, and enter me in your mercy uh, from your worshippers, from your righteous worshippers.
Yeah, so وأدخلني
And
في عبادك
in
الصالحين, enter, make me among your righteous servants, برحمتك, through your rahmah. And so we have two mawsuf sifas here. صالحا ترضى, صالحا is nakira, so it can be described with a jumla fi'liya. And then عبادك, عباد is the mawsuf and mudaf, and as-salihin is the sifa. Last one, Frozen Cool.
Sure, Bismillah. قل أذلك قل أذلك خير أم جنة الخلد التي وعد المتقون كانت لهم جزاء ومصيرا. So it's the Jannatul Khuld. And give me a second. No, that's not it.
I saw Jannat al-Khuld, that's idafa.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
that's
allati,
read the muttaqun. Oh. Okay, so that could Jannatul Khuld and Sifa is Allati Wida al-Muttaqun.
let's see. Right, so وجنة الخلد عطف على ذلك واسم الموصول صفة لجنة. Right, so that whole phrase becomes essentially the kind of na. So جنة الخلد إضافة, Jannah is موصوف, التي, and the rest of the sila, the whole phrase then becomes the sifa to Jannah. So what is better? That, meaning punishment in the fire of hell, or gardens that have been promised for the believers forever, gardens of eternity that have been promised for those people of taqwa. And that will be reward for them and a place for them to go and return back to. Good. All right. Yeah, like I said, for homework, just read over chapter 52 and we'll start that next time. All right, any other questions?
So far, no. I think
All right, yeah, we should be finished with this book in how many more weeks we have left? Yeah, definitely by the end of this trimester, inshallah. All right, everybody. Subhanallah bihamdihi, subhanallah azim, subhanaka wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. صلى الله تعالى على خير خلق محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
عليه الصلاة
Yes.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله. جزاك الله خير.